So with the end of the season comes the time for reflection, a time to think about the shows that we loved and hated from weeks gone past. And with winter 2014, I've done a lot of reflection, only to realise that a lot of the shows were not that great. So much of it was so obnoxiously bad that it was really difficult to pick number 5 for this list because everything was just not good. With that being said though, I did want to try making a top 5 of the season, and I thought, what better place to start right at the end of winter. And to be fair, there were a couple of cracking series, so let's get on with it, starting with number 5. Okay, so I have this feeling that people are already disregarding my opinion concerning the last season, but hear me out on this one. Wake Up Girls follows the story of a band of aspiring idols working their way from the bottom, trying to get big in terms of idols or whatever. And that's literally all the series is really about. It's about hard work and friendship and banding together to win the championship of idols. And honestly, it's not the best series I've ever seen, by a long shot. So where to start with this thing? It's predictable, the budget for it must have been horrible because the animation was inconsistent and downright awful at times. And that's not even mentioning the fact that you have to watch a 45-minute film before you can even start the 12 episodes, or otherwise none of it will make any sense to you. But the reason that it's number 5 on my list is, despite all those problems, I really enjoyed this show, and I found it a damn sight more enjoyable than most of the stuff that aired last season. I really did enjoy watching these characters grow and what they had to do to get that little bit of recognition. It was honestly good in its own respects, and I appreciate it for that, and that's why it's number 5 on my list. Engaged to the Unidentified was one of those shows that just entirely slipped past me when the season started. And I had to check it out eventually because people just kept name-dropping this thing everywhere I looked. So the story starts on our protagonist's 16th birthday, and her name is Kobani. And on her 16th birthday she finds out that she's engaged to a really strange boy named Hakuya. Of course, because it's anime, they start living together with Hakuya's little sister Mashiro and Kobani's older sister called Benio, and thus the tale begins. I expected nothing from this show, but enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. It's honestly a really well done rom-com, with really awesome animation actually. Though I personally probably would have preferred this show to be a little bit more based on the relationship of Hakuya and Kobani, and I could have done without the comic relief side characters being there all the time. I did enjoy it, and I am really sad that it's over. So if you're into romantic comedies, this is one to give a go, and probably watch it for the ending as well. It's pretty good. Inari Konkon Koyoroha is the story of Inari and her budding friendships, one of which with a goddess that lives at the local shrine, and that's really all there is to it. Totaling up at 10 episodes, this one was one of the things that completely slipped past me, and I'm so glad that I caught it. From the first episode I kind of did expect the show to take a romantic kind of turn, but the romance thing always sort of fell to the wayside. It felt very secondary compared to the friendships that Inari was trying to grow, and it was just really nice. Just a nice show. While I don't have a ton of things to say about Inari Konkon Koyoroha, I definitely recommend it, especially if you just want to see a show about adorable girls being friends, and the design of this thing was kind of awesome. Number 2 on the list has to be Space Dandy, and with much of the community vastly disappointed in this series, you may want to take what I have to say with a little pinch of salt. But really what I expected out of Space Dandy and what I got out of Space Dandy were the same thing. I expected a ridiculous episodic space show about some guy that travels around the universe with a pompadour, and that's what I got. It does have its finer moments, sure, those being in the form of episode 5 and episode 13, but I thoroughly enjoyed this show. It was brilliantly stupid, so much fun to watch, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I really, really can't wait for season 2. Noragami does very much seem to be the surprise of the season for pretty much everyone, myself included. While I did expect to like it, I didn't expect to like it to the point where it would be my number 1 of the season. Here we are. It focuses on a god called Yato, who is rather useless it would seem, and a girl named Hiyori who saves him from death at the cost of an abnormality in her soul, that being whenever she falls unconscious, she does some sort of astral projection and her soul leaves her body. The story is so interesting, and I definitely could get behind the characters, and I felt really invested in what was happening to them. It was a very, very good show, and the thing that I liked the most about this is it definitely let me know that Bones is back, baby. So happy. And that's it really, my very brief top 5 of the season. So, if you guys have any different thoughts, do let me know down below what you thought was best last season. This list was so freaking difficult to do because there was just not a lot of good stuff that I saw. Where was the good stuff, guys? Seriously. But with that, I no longer have to talk about this season past. So, thank you for watching, take care, and I will see you guys soon.